Hey, Kyle is wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's NJPW Strong from July 23rd, 2022, recorded in Los Angeles, United States, and this is the 100th episode of Strong. So it's also the week 3 of the Ignition 2022 events. We get a special tag team opening tournament video to start us off. It will be the semifinals will start tonight. It's the tournament to crown the first ever NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. Unfortunately, the belts look exactly like the SmackDown titles, blue straps with silver platings. But pretty good tournament so far. We finished the first round. It was 8 teams, and we're down to 4. It'll be Christopher Daniels and Yuya Uemura, who was a late scratch for the injured Alex Coughlin. And Christopher Daniels had to pick someone to be his partner in this tournament since Alex Coughlin was injured, and he chose Yuya Uemura. They won their first ever match teaming together in the first round, and they'll fight TMDK for a spot in the finals. So that's Shane Haste and Mikey Nicholls. That'll be the main event tonight. Also, we'll see a trios match where Rocky Romero, David Finlay, and Mascara Dorado will take on Negro Casas, who has been 47 years of experience and is 62 years old. He's one of the innovators of the cruiserweight style, and he'll team up with youngsters Lucus Riley and Adrian Quest. But that'll be the second match. Our opening bout will be a debuting Jordan Cruz. We've seen Jordan Cruz on Rampage, AEW Rampage, and AEW Dark in losing efforts. So he'll have a tough matchup tonight against JR Kratos. Jordan Cruz comes out first. He looks like he's wearing Okada's old robe, so that's where it went. It's now that Okada's wearing the 50th anniversary Antonio Inoki robes. I guess someone had to wear Okada's old robe. Anyway, Jordan Cruz is a 25-year-old from California, and JR Kratos is out next, and the crowd's booing him big time. So Kratos is still mad about losing to Alex Coughlin, and that could spell bad news for Jordan Cruz tonight. So JR looks like he just stepped out of the shower. He's all his gear and his entrance like leather jacket, they're all just soaking wet. He must have just stepped right into the shower before coming out. That's ridiculous. But anyway, as soon as the bell rings, JR Kratos runs and crashes and destroys Jordan Cruz. That was wild. Right as the bell rings, that was insane. So JR then throws Cruz 3/4 away across the ring, and JR hits 2 nasty forearms. Somehow Cruz kicks out of this. I thought it was over already. All 4 of those started with 4 massive shots already. So JR now puts a chin lock in. Jordan Cruz is able to get out, but then runs into a JR big boot, and this has been completely one-sided so far. JR Kratos then hits another big slam, and Cruz kicks out at 2 again, showing good heart to keep kicking out of these at least. So Cruz is on the ground now, hitting more big strikes with some ground and pound, but Cruz dodges a standing elbow drop twice in a row. Then Cruz leaps up, hits a really good looking drop kick. He jumped about 8 feet in the air. Cruz then goes for a forearm, but does not take JR off his feet. JR just absorbs to a lariat that's still on his feet after a hurricanrana. All that was by Cruz. Sorry, I explained that weird, but Cruz just took a bunch of shots at JR there, even a hurricanrana. None of it took JR Kratos off his feet. JR just hits a big Claymore kick and then a leaping lariat and a spinning side slam for the 1-2-3 after just absorbing all that stuff like it was nothing. The winner of this match by pinfall is JR Kratos. Thanks for coming, Jordan Cruz. Nice debut match. So, I mean, his dropkick looked good. Uh, that's for sure. So, that was one of the most one-sided matches I've seen in a while. And I watched Dark and Dark Elevation, and those are almost all one-sided matches. But this was just ridiculous. Usually they don't kick out that much. You know, that was the thing. Usually they would have kicked out, or they would have been beaten before it got to like that many big shots. So that was kind of cool to watch. Anyway, Kratos gets on the microphone and says, "Alex, I want you in Charlotte, last man standing match. You and me, biat." So that should be a pretty good match. Apparently, that means Alex Coughlin is not injured too badly. So he had to miss all these ignition tapings, but the ones that are happening, I think that match happens either tonight or tomorrow, I think is the Charlotte show in real time. So we'll be getting those on NJPW Strong within a couple of weeks or something like that. So now it's time for the legendary. This will be my first time seeing it. I didn't really know this. I'm not big up to date on my Mexican wrestling, especially CMLL. But Negro Casas comes out, and he's 62 years old, 47 years in the business, and one of the founders. I mean, the founding fathers of the cruiserweight division, as we know it. All kinds of cruiserweight moves he was helping innovating in the last 47 years. So he comes out. He's got a couple trainees with him, Lucas Riley and Adrian Quest. This will be my first time seeing them as well. So Negro Casas is a pioneer, like I said. Rocky Romero and Mascara Dorado come out to the music of David Finlay next, which is kind of funny if you've been watching the G1 all the tag matches Finlay's in. He always has to come out to other people's music, but here on Strong they have to come out to his. So that was pretty interesting. But this should be a really fun match, and it is. Finlay wants to start the match with Negro Casas. So we're told from the announcers that Finlay, David Finlay's father, lost 2 matches the Casas 30 years ago. So 0 and 2 is Finlay against Casas. So David Finlay wants some revenge for that. He must have got a phone call from his dad or something when he heard he was going to fight Casas. So they start with the match with some grappling. Finlay takes Casas to the ground with an arm bar. Finlay then rings the arm and then tags out the Dorado. And then Adrian Quest also tags in. Quest tries a shoulder tackle, but it does nothing. So instead, Quest tries a springboard 630 corkscrew. And yeah, that had a little bit better luck. That moved like great from Adrian Quest. So Quest tags in Lucas Riley now, and they attempt a double team, but Dorada kicks Quest right out of the ring to counter it. Then Lucas goes on the attack, but Dorada is able to get a boot up. Then Dorada hits a sling blade from behind. That was really cool and fluid. Dorada then tags in Rocky Romero. Rocky hits a basement drop kick, and Lucas tries to fight back, but Rocky keeps control. Rocky eventually attempts forever clotheslines, but Lucas evades and then hits a vertical suplex. Lucas now tags in Negro Casas. So Rocky and Casas have a big forearm battle. Then Rocky hits forever clotheslines twice, but on the third attempt, Casas counters it and hits a really nice looking quick striking combo, about 4 or 5 big strikes in a row with like a leg sweep and everything. 62-year-old guy, man. Then Casas done one of his signature moves, the shotgun drop kick to the corner. Like I've seen the person I always think of when I see that is for Prince Devitt or Finn Balor, as he's known now. So yeah, this 62-year-old guy who's had 47 years in wrestling, how the heck can his body still withstand all this stuff? When he was the innovator of the cruiserweight style and he's still doing it after 47 years, that's wild. So Casas has had, I looked it up, over 3,000 matches. So anyway, after that shotgun drop kick, Casas holds up the head of Rocky while moving over to his corner, and hitting knees in the gut at the same time. So everything Casas is doing is really great here. Really good stuff. Casas tagged out while he was doing all that to Lucas. Lucas now hits a beautiful looking running shooting star press just from the mat. That looked amazing. Then tags in Quest, and Lucas hits a slingshot senton before leaving, though. Rocky Romero's definitely in trouble, but he kicks out at 2. Queston hits a really smooth looking vertical suplex for another 2. I mean, you see so many vertical suplexes, but Quest, I like this style, how smooth that looked. Anyway, Quest also hits a back elbow, and then Casas now tags in, works over the arm of Rocky. Rocky's still in trouble. Casas now goes for one of his finishers, the Diablo armbar, but Rocky gets to the ropes right away before it gets applied. Then Casas stays in control, and Lucas helps him from the outside to work on Rocky's arm a little bit more. Rocky's arm is now has been damaged a lot. Lucas and Quest now come in without any tags. They all kick Rocky. The referee eventually gets control of everybody, and then Rocky hits a big right hand the tag out finally. So Mascara Dorado in now, and he tries to handspring flip something, but Casas is too experienced for that. He just lets Dorada spring off the ropes and like just hit nothing. That was pretty cool from Casas. So Dorada then hits a running hurricanrana instead, has better luck than that. Then the king of the ropes, Dorada, does his thing on the ropes where he spins around really cool, then hits a drop kick to the chest of Casas. Then Casas counters a charging Dorada with a drop kick to the knee. Pretty cool stuff here. Then both men tag out. David Finlay and Adrian Quest are now in. Quest counters a dawn. He was about to be tossed like a lawn dart, but he's able to counter that. Finlay counters right back. It was a top rope move from Quest. Finlay puts it into the Irish Curse backbreaker. Now Rocky tags back in, and they double team Quest with strong zero double team from Roppongi Vice. That was pretty cool. Quest is able to kick out of this. Apparently, Finlay doesn't know how to do it right. You know what I'm saying? So Quest blocks a sliced bread attempt from Rocky, but Lucus runs in and knocks the other two off the apron, and they double team Rocky, ending with a top rope senton by Lucus. Finlay and Dorada now in to break up the pin. Dorada leaps to the outside, takes out Casas hard into the barricade. The 62-year-old man out there taking hard shots. Back in the ring now, Lucas hits an uppercut. They counter each other until Rocky Romero eventually it's a big lariat, and then the Shirano. It kind of looked like Destino or sliced bread for the 1-2-3. The winner of the match by pinfall are Rocky Romero, David Finlay, and Mascara Dorada. So Casas and Rocky are yelling at each other, but apparently Casas is pointing over at Finlay. Rocky and Casas shake hands, but it seems like we might not have seen the last of David Finlay versus Casas. We might see them in a singles match at some point, and I hope so. I want to see more of Negro Casas, 62-year-old innovator of the cruiserweight division, just out there doing his thing. Really fun to watch. So it's time for the main event now. Let me get a quick drink. Yeah, if you've never seen Negro Casas, I'm gonna when I get some free time, I think tomorrow I'll have some. I have to go look up some highlights of this guy. He's 62 years old right now, and he's doing some amazing things. Really, really good stuff. So I was wondering if we were going to get something special for the 100th episode, and I think that was our something special. It was the debut in New Japan for Negro Casas, who currently works in CMLL, and I could look it up real quick and see what kind of other companies, if he's always been with CMLL or what. So let me just look that up real quick. I still got the web page up. So it looks like Negro Casas has been with CML, or wait, no, that's not CMLL. Who is this? It is CMLL. So he's been with CMLL since 1993, it looks like. So let's get to the main event now. It is for the spot in the first person, the team. This is the first semifinals. So time for the main event. First out is TMDK, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nicholls. And second night in a row after they come out, it's the second night in a row I get to hear the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, great TNA music, because last night Daniels was in the main event on AEW Rampage against Jay Lethal. And now tonight he's in the main event of NJPW Strong. So pretty cool to see one of my favorite wrestlers here doing his thing. Yuya Uemura is Daniels' partner. He comes out with Daniels, and this is only their second match teaming together. They won their first ever match together, and that was the first round of this tournament. So they're trying. This is a big tournament match here to get to the finals for the first ever NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Title Tournament here to become the first champion. So meanwhile, even though this is only this is the second match, like I said, for Yuya Uemura and Christopher Daniels. Meanwhile, TMDK are one of the most experienced tag teams in the world currently. So Daniels is a tag team specialist, however. So I think he's been champions with 10, 15 different people and so many different companies. So he could definitely use his expertise here. TMDK jumps Daniels and Yuya right before the match even starts. They throw Daniels out of the ring and double team Yuya right at the start here. So Daniels is able to grab Yuya when he gets shot to the ropes. They were going to hit it some kind of double team, TMDK was, but Yuya grabs the waist and stops Yuya from slingshotting into an attack. That was pretty cool, and already showing that Daniels is, like I said, a guru when it comes to tag team wrestling. He almost doesn't matter what partner he has. Like I said, he's had titles with like 15 different people in his career at least. Now the bell rings officially to start this match as Daniels and Yuya hit a double hip toss on Shane Haste, and Yuya flapjacks Daniels on the Haste. That was pretty cool looking. Yuya then tags in Daniels, who hits a slingshot elbow just like his longtime partner Frankie Kazarian. If Daniels probably had to say one person that he could like, who is your main tag partner or whatever, it would definitely be Frankie Kazarian. They've had so many names throughout the years that I don't even have like an official name that I could call him because I don't even know which one's the real one. They've been so many different names, but Kaz and Daniels are amazing. Anyway, back to this match. Daniels keeps Haste in their corner now and tags in Yuya for another double team, and a great start for the underdogs here. You got to consider them the underdogs with only 2 matches against, I don't know, TMDK's probably had 1,000 matches together at least. Yuya hits some elbow drops now for a 2 count just from the mat, not from the ropes. Daniels says, pull him over to our corner. But Yuya did not listen to the specialist, the tag team specialist Daniels. The veteran Daniels did not, gave him advice, yelled, get him over here into our corner. But nope, Yuya instead has a striking exchange with Haste. Haste reverses an Irish whip, and Nicholls trips Yuya from the outside. So now they do a double team. Haste hits a drop kick to the face, and then Nicholls smashes Yuya's face really hard onto the apron, nose first. So now Nicholls tags in, and we get a good look at Yuya. His nose is broken. There is a lot of red stuff flowing out at a fast rate. So look what happened. Yuya didn't listen to the veteran Daniels, and now this happened. Daniels wanted to keep it in their corner and use quick tags and double teams, but Yuya didn't listen. He wanted the striking exchange in the middle of the ring instead. Immediately got caught with a double team move, and now his nose is broken. So Nicholls then knocks Daniels off the apron as they literally smell blood, and TMDK go on the attack. But Yuya fires up with some strikes, but it only takes one big chop from Nicholls to take Yuya back to the ground. Tag to Shane Haste now. They hit it back, double back elbow into the standing moonsault fist drop combo, one of their signature moves from TMDK. And then Yuya's in a bad way already. He's got a broken nose. He's firing up again, though. Yuya has a lot of fight in him. Nicholls hits a high drop kick right to that nose again by Yuya to keep control. Haste now tags in. Another double team forces Daniels to have to come break up the pin. Yuya might not have kicked out. So Yuya blocks the suplex now and hits a vertical suplex of his own to finally tag out. Daniels comes in and hits forearms and lariats on the both TMDK members. Shane Haste, it was only on Nicholls, because then Haste runs in and Daniels catches him with a back body drop. That was a cool spot. So then the next spot was botched. Major botch here. It's 2 veterans, so it happens. But anyway, they were going to try to do a spot where Daniels counters a double team move by hitting an STO. However, Nicholls was like right up against the ropes, and Daniels couldn't execute the STO. So the spot was so bad that the camera had to cut away to like something else so that it didn't like show how bad and expose the business type deal kind of thing. But 2 veterans here. It happens. Daniels eventually hits a super soft STO once he realizes he couldn't do the original one on the ropes. Then they kind of back away from the ropes, and he hits an STO as if he was laying a baby down in the crib. So kind of botched there. Daniels then throws Nicholls out of the ring right after that. Then Daniels hits a Shane Haste with a blue thunder bomb. Daniels tries to hit Angel's Wings on a returning Nicholls, but Nicholls blocks it and hits a big spine buster for a 2 count. So Haste tags in now, and they hit a double team tent buster, one of their finishers, and Daniels is able to kick out of this, probably because he hasn't really taken too much damage in this match, but Daniels can probably not survive any more big shots like that, and Yuya Uemura is not even up on the apron yet. He's down convalescing with his broken nose on the floor. So Daniels fights his way out of a double team, and just as he does, Yuya gets up to the apron. So Daniels sees it and tags in Yuya. Yuya comes in with big strikes on both TMDK members. Mikey Nicholls then tries a striking exchange with Yuya, but Yuya hits a big drop kick and a great looking arm trapped overhead belly to belly suplex. Yuya then goes to the top rope, but both TMDK members meet him there and they slam Yuya hard to the mat. I thought that might have been it, but Yuya kicks out. Daniels would not have been there in time, so Yuya kicked out on his own there, showing great heart. The crowd noticed that and they start chanting Yuya, Yuya. So Daniels comes and saves Yuya from another double team move right after that. So TMDK hit a big old double team slam on the Daniels instead, but this allows Yuya, I think he threw Nicholls out of the ring and hit a Hurricane Rana on Haste into a tight pin for the 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match are Yuya Uemura and the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. Wow, that's shocking right there. I definitely wanted to see TMDK versus Aussie Open in the finals, but I suppose you could always just see that in a match and a title defense later on. So maybe Aussie Open would still have to win 2 matches to get the title, but that's potentially the first ever. If Aussie Open win my prediction was Aussie Open to win the strong titles here from the very beginning. And then that would be a pretty good first title defense if it was TMDK versus Aussie Open. But in the meantime, Christopher Daniels and Yuya Uemura celebrate going to the finals here. They'll take on either Aussie Open or Stray Dog Army. And I'm assuming that second semifinal match, Aussie Open versus Stray Dog Army, will be next week. They didn't tell us, they didn't confirm anything on the show, but I'm assuming that has to be next week. Maybe the week after that is the finals, and I'm assuming they taped it all at once, which means Yuya Uemura will have to work the finals with a broken nose. That's not going to be fun at all. So maybe it's not at the finals. Maybe the finals will be at the Charlotte show that I think's this weekend. So I'm not quite sure. But it's really good stuff. That first match was a kind of throwaway match. It was just a complete squash. It was kind of cool to see JR Kratos doing some of those big moves, but overall, kind of a boring match since it was so one-sided. But that second match was awesome. Negro Casas, I never even heard his name before, but I'm definitely now going to look him up. 62 years old, doing so much innovative stuff in this match. I'm definitely going to look him up on YouTube and try and see if I can find some matches. Maybe I can find those Finlay matches they were talking about. That'd be a good place to start. So that's going to be where I start with trying to find some of this guy's matches. Maybe he fight some of the Guerreros back in the day or something like that too. That would be cool. So, and then of course the main event with a shocking ending, pretty cool ending as well. I doubt that they did the whole break his nose on purpose thing, but if they did, that's that's wild if that was on purpose. Because I mean, the reason I say maybe they broke Yuya's nose on purpose is would you ever want to break someone's nose on purpose though? I mean, I guess it could have been some kind of fake blood because at a point they were kind of like biting right after. Um, what do you call it? So Yuya got slammed into the apron really hard, nose first. So like it looked pretty good. It looked pretty convincing that it would have caused like a nose break. But then there was like they were like grabbing his nose and maybe like looking like they were biting it and stuff like that too. So maybe they could have put some kind of substance in there. I don't know. Other than that, maybe it was just an accident, or maybe he was supposed to get like Yuya was supposed to get his hands up so that his hands hit first and not so that his hands hit first and not his nose. But maybe Yuya was too inexperienced and didn't know that, and like there was a translation issue. Maybe he said get your hands up or something like that, but it didn't translate well or something like that. Either way, should be a good finals whenever we get it. I have no idea when it's going to be next week. I don't know any of the other matches other than I'm assuming it'll be Aussie Open versus Stray Dog Army. So I'll be back here for that. And don't forget I've been covering all the G1, so I'm putting out videos for not only when G1 goes off the air, the review of what happened and a recap, a blow for blow, move for move, best I can. I'll also be doing separate videos for each day's backstage comments. So keep a lookout for those if you're in the New Japan. Give me a subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And I'll talk to you guys again real soon. So have a good one and peace.